station. Express Varanasi station, Netaji Bhavan.
RCB were writing a really good script up until the 10th over. When Rahul came in, he said, let me pick up the pen and I will rewrite the script, because that's what he's done. Rahul, 93 not out of 53. Very well supported by Stubbs, 38 of 23. Delhi won by 6 wickets. Welcome back to Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live. I'm Saiyami Kher. I've got Simon and Harsha with me in the house. None of us winners at the prediction game, but what an end to that match. Rahul and Stubbs have just taken Delhi past that finish line so comfortably.
Yeah, we thought they were in a bit of trouble too at the Combox. I had Bengaluru ahead at the Combox. I thought their bowlers had done a terrific job. They just lost their way at the back end, and a brilliant partnership. Still had 2 pretty good players sitting in the dugout, and when you're in a serious amount of trouble, 64 for 4, I think they were at the halfway stage. To do it with ease, I think in the end shows the nature of the team and where they're at, and that they've got plenty of players that can win you matches from different situations.
I mean, there's a reason we call him a special player, Rahul. I think we should just respect him now and give him one batting position rather than trusting him when no one else wants to be. But at the position time you're talking about, Rahul is 29 of 29 balls. Because wickets are going, he's got to stay in there, and he now finishes with... What?
93.
93 or 53 balls?
No, he finished 93 or 53 balls.
Yes.
So next 24 balls, he's hit 64 runs. And he's got that gear in him. And I'm so happy to see that gear to him, because I think he was denying himself that gear in search of something that was dated. But today was special.
Well, he was extremely special, but something very special for Delhi. 4 games, 4 wins.
And who would have thunk?
Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk after 2009? So they are back in that kind of form, and they're looking absolutely dominant.
Yeah, and put it, I mean, obviously it wasn't an easy surface, but put a lot of it down to their bowlers as well. I mean, post that run out, or, after that run out of Phil Salt, they owned the game. Right up until probably the 18th over, when Tim David got his innings underway, 37 in quick fire time. But they owned that period of play between the 4th over, or halfway through the 3rd, really, wasn't it, and the 18th. Their bowlers did a terrific job, good in the field, and they restricted. In the end, it probably looked like it was about a 180 surface, 181, maybe 185 surface, but they've done a great job. I think a lot of credit will go to KL, but I think the bowlers did a superb job.
In that period, I think they got something like 74, 75 runs in 15 overs. That's how well they controlled it.
Yeah.
And I mean, I still can't figure out whether this was a surface that was difficult to bat on, or whether the bowlers bowled well and created that impression. Because you see the second half of the innings,
Felt like another match.
It's not that it rained such a lot and made it damp or made it easier for the ball to come on. It didn't rain that much. It's just that just changed the gear and the bowlers were not there.
The bowlers were not there. For RCB's innings, it felt like when Virat and Salt were there, it was some other pitch, and then it looked like they were on another pitch. And when Delhi came out to bat, the first 10 overs felt like it was completely some other pitch, and then they went back on that Virat and Salt pitch.
Yeah, I mean, some pretty average bat. Not too much harm on Faf du Plessis. I don't think he could run. I don't think he was in any fit state. He was really struggling. So looking to go after it, skied one in the air. Fraser McGurk, an awful shot. Again, from a player that is sort of, a big money player that has been talked and talked about, but is very rarely delivering at the moment. And, he has to be better. I've seen him play innings where he's a better player than just a top order slogger, but he has to understand now that there's more to opening the batting than just going out there and slogging the ball. He's got to start delivering. Again, they've won. He'll get more time. He'll get another lifeline. But there was some average cricket at the top of the order, I thought. Even the skipper's shot wasn't a great shot. So, I don't think I'll put too much of that down to the surface. I think there's just some pretty average cricket up the top. And then we've seen some great cricket from Stubbs and KL.
The only time I wondered about the surface was when the balls kept going up.
Yeah.
Now, most of the time when the balls go up, it's because it's not coming on, so it's going up. But thereafter, I mean, even KL Rahul mistimed one or two right at the start. The Patidar catch. The Patidar catch. Very, very difficult. But when you get there, you want to catch it, right?
100%.
He had gotten there, but there's one question which every RCB fan wants an answer to.
How do you win at home?
What do they do? Why they're just not happy being home?
I'll tell you, there's some interesting visuals that the cameras captured. Virat looked angry. I don't know what had riled him. He was talking to DK on the touchline, on the boundary rope, and he was angry. Then, and because there's always a camera on Virat, you could see that it wasn't just, oh, come on, let's go, you know. By the time a game is over, Virat's finished chewing his teeth about 6 times. But he was angry. There's something hasn't sat well with him.
But I mean, that is today, but I'm just wondering, what does one do with
on a larger note,
on a bigger...
I think they should take all of the signage down from their dressing room and move it into the other one. Just change dressing rooms. Go away from the home dressing room, jump into the opposition one, and then when the opposition turn up and they go, hang on a minute, no, we'll go to the other one.
Basically, Dooley is saying Vastu is not correct.
That's what it is. It clearly is that.
Chennai used to do that.
Yeah.
Chennai used to do
little
that.
Things. I mean, it might just be a change of scenery. I don't know. And it sounds so silly, but you know, if anyone can do it, one of these franchise sides could do it because they're at the ground. Just pull all the signage down, put it in the other change room, and try that for a game and see what happens.
No, because this is happening time and again now. So there's one thing that, you know, with RCB fans, we know how passionate they are. But when they keep coming back home and then not winning at home, I mean, what is the answer to this? Because if they come, they practice there, they spend time at home. The pitches, well, today wasn't quite the typical pitch.
They have sort of, 47-48% win record at home.
Yeah. But, I mean, look, it's a Karnataka homecoming, isn't it, for KL? Yes. He knows that surface like the back of his hand.
Yeah, but interestingly, they've lost games where the opposition comes and hits 200, 220. And now they've lost a game where they've only made 160. The last 2 times they've played here.
Yeah,
they've made 165, 170. So now they're losing games with 170.
Yes.
So it's a huge thing, and it's not that it's happened over 1 year or 2 years. So can they just say, forget this game never happened? We're good enough. Come back and win. Words are okay.
Well, Rajat Patidar has said that they didn't quite assess the conditions well, and they felt that it would be a batting-friendly pitch, but it wasn't so much.
Music to the ears of the people who did the pitch report. They weren't the only ones.
They weren't the only ones who got it wrong. And that's fair. I think the batting innings showed that they didn't quite assess it well enough. And, you know, looking at that partnership at the back end, you say, would 185 have been enough? It puts more pressure on when you're 64 for 4. 185, 190 puts a lot more pressure on than mid-160s. So you think that, and that's one thing. I guess one criticism that we've seen a little bit in this tournament this year, sides want 220, 230, 240. Hyderabad have been guilty of it.
Yes.
Going so hard when the surface is probably only a 190 to 200 pitch. And so assessing the situation, you cannot use the excuse time and time again that, well, that's the way we want to play. You know, these guys are getting paid a lot of money. They're professional sportsmen. You have to play the situation of the game rather than, well, that's the way I play. I'm sorry, that doesn't wash with me, and it shouldn't wash with a coach or a management system either. You have to look at what you're playing on and get yourself in, and then maybe assess it from there. And, you know, there's guys running in and out all the time with drinks. There's strategic timeouts. You've got an opportunity to talk to everybody and say, guys, I don't think this is a 220 surface tonight. You know, 180, we bring our spinners into the game, we might be able to do it. So if we look for 180, we might get 195, 200.
Correct. Well, that's something...
It's also a situation where the home side doesn't know how its surface is going to be.
Once again, we've heard this quite a few times this IPL, but there's somebody who is a homeboy and he clearly read those conditions very, very well. It felt like he was playing on another pitch altogether. He was cool, he was classy, he was composed, which is why KL Rahul is our coolest performer of the match, powered by Voltas. Shore kam, kaam zyada. So he definitely did a lot of calm today, Harsha. He was calm and did a lot of calm as well, because 93 of 53, you were talking about shifting those gears. He did that perfectly today.
And he's finished, he's striking 175 at the end. So he's lived up to what he said himself. He was very calm because there's class all over KL Rahul. At 29 of 29 balls, you thought, okay, how is he going to play it? I think there was one shot. It was the 11th over where he sweeps Krunal Pandya. And that suddenly triggered off something. Then the little drizzle, that 22-run over of Josh Hazlewood. How do you hit Josh Hazlewood for 22? Dooley, explain to me, why was he bowling so short? He was setting up for the pull shot.
He bowled a lot of slower balls in that over, Hazlewood, which surprised me somewhat. But that is a situation where he looked up at the scoreboard.
He realized.
And they were 107 Duckworth Lewis, right? The rain was just starting to fall.
We saw those chips.
We saw the note. Everyone was checking the notes. He's looked up at that scoreboard, and you can guarantee they were 98, I think, at the time, and they needed to be 107. Then all of a sudden, they're 115, and then, 120.
The Duckworth Lewis was 115,
and they were 120.
Yes, they were 8 runs short.
And they were 120 after that over. That is a situation where he has assessed it, and he said, I need something here. Best on best, I'm going to take you down. And he did it absolutely superbly. I mean, the pull shots, the reading of the length, and then almost picking the bowler's brain last ball, staying deep and just banging that one over long off for 6. I mean, it was just high quality. And
he had to have read Hazlewood because he pulled 2 for 4.
Correct.
He had to have read that he's going to bowl Fuller, and then the 6. The straight 6. Also with KL Rahul, he's got shots everywhere. I mean, Dooley and me are sitting and watching in the green room. He played a couple of boundaries square. Which is brilliant. I mean, Stubbs hit one unbelievable shot too. But Rahul is hitting 4s there. He's hitting 4s there. He's hitting down the ground. He's the kind of player who's got a shot everywhere.
Well, he had 19 runs with a pull shot today, so he clearly was reading the pitch very well. But Harsha, you've seen him for many years. You've always complimented how great he is as a batsman. But today he celebrated very unlike himself.
So when you said cool, I was going to tell you he was cool
not,
till the last ball was bowled.
We're not used to seeing, maybe this is the daddy version of KL Rahul now, that he's more animated, he's more, I don't know, energetic.
He's cool.
He's daddy
He's
cool.
the daddy version.
Unless we get him onto the field and he wins a game, which is a close game, maybe we'll see a different Dooley as well.
But maybe also the intense satisfaction of taking a game that was going and piloting it through. I'd imagine that there could be few more satisfying things in a game than to max a run chase and take your team home.
Yes.
And I think that would have been the satisfaction. And I mean, new franchise. He's moved from a place he seemed to be unhappy in, and then suddenly he comes and plays one of the top 2-3 innings of this year's tournament. So, yeah.
There's a sense of relief as well that comes out with emotion when you get the job done. And sometimes you don't know. I mean, you don't quite realise what you're doing as well. But I love seeing that from KL Rahul because, you know, for so long in his career, we've talked about strike rates. We've talked about playing more for not as much for the team at different times. And, you know, we've been a little bit critical here and there. We've never doubted his class and his quality. We all, I think, have felt that he can be better. And I think that's a fair assessment of where we sat. It was nothing to do with the quality of the player, the quality of the stroke making, the ability to do all that. It was just the fact that he didn't quite bring it out and wasn't quite there with it. We're seeing a different style this year in particular, and I love it. Absolutely love it. It takes me back to the 100 in Dubai, which was just one of the most phenomenal innings I've seen live in T20 cricket. It was unbelievable. And when you see him play like that, and you know he can play like that, that's what you want to see more often. And we saw more of it tonight. I thought it was brilliant.
He's got all facets. He got a Test 100 in South Africa in very difficult conditions. So he's had a fabulous World Cup. Again, at the Champions Trophy, he's taken you home a couple of times. I think this idea of taking a team home, maybe he's relishing the responsibility of taking the team home, but for heaven's sake, give him a number.
Please.
Say in ODI cricket, this is your number. In T20, this is your number.
Is it the number we're not allowed to mention?
Oh, the number 4.
4?
You both just said it.
Well, again, because he came in today, we would have wanted him to open, right?
I walked into it.
No, but today those rules don't apply because we've said momentum,
Correct.
we've said
True.
2-3 other things.
They'll rule out the
Fortress.
Fortress.
Yeah.
So wasn't the fortress so much today, but KL Rahul came out and said, Rahul, naam to suna hoga. He was very cool and composed until that last ball, like Harsha said, which is why he was our coolest performer of the match, powered by Voltas. Sure, calm zyada. With regards to calm zyada, KL Rahul was also very happy that he got that support from Tristan Stubbs because it
Another player who I've seen very, very explosive and then went and got a 100 in a first-class game in South Africa. Now, one thing you know in South Africa, the bowling on those tracks will always be of a certain quality with the seam bowling. He got a 100 there. And so sometime last year when I was thinking, okay, who are the 3 or 4 players I think are going to make a big impact in the next decade? I had Tristan Stubbs in one of those because he's got both facets of the game, much like KL Rahul has. Yeah. And you see today, he also turned it on just like that. And duly that one shot through the offside. Come on, come on, take it away.
The one of Suyash. The one of Suyash.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's immense power, but it's just the ability to lay back to a full ball and hit it through the offside, through extra cover. Yeah. Just phenomenal. And I mean, I've seen him hit some massive sixes in the last couple of years as well. But he was very cool and calm, much like KL was in the early parts of that partnership. They realised that they had to get the team to a point where if it wasn't going to be them, there was an opportunity for Ashutosh maybe to come in and finish the game off. And in the end, they did it themselves. But it was brilliant from Stubbs as well. And you could see his emotion with KL. There's a lot of glove pumping and things going on at the back end. So, yeah, terrific. And that's what winning can do for you. And that's what losing, on the flip side of that, from a Bangalore point of view, when you don't know how to win at home, you find ways to lose. And from a Delhi point of view, they've just got this role going at the moment. They know how to win games. They know how to win from nowhere. They've done it once already this season, won from a position that they probably shouldn't have won from. And that's what winning does for you. It allows you when you're in tough situations, hard positions, 1 or 2 blokes will stand up. And you kind of know they will because there's that feeling in the camp.
Yeah. And there's a reason you have a full season in the IPL, you go back a better player. Because Tristan Stubbs is still at the development stage of his career. And he's seen KL Rahul play that innings from the other end. So he's grown merely by being part of that partnership. If you remember 3 years ago, I think, Stubbs and Brewis, Doull Brewis, they were together in Mumbai.
Yeah.
And they kept, they thought Brewis was the better player. And then Stubbs has just gone back and he's gone to another level. Brilliant in the field. Yeah. Keeps wickets occasionally.
Can bowl a bit of spin.
A little bit.
Has to.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
little bit.
We'll go a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Being kind to those bowlers. We like it, Simon. We always like the kindness that you bring to the bowlers. But we were in the comm box and we chatted, Harsha. Simon said it was 70-30
Yeah, I thought
RCB.
at the halfway stage, 70-30 RCB.
Because 4 wickets down, 66 on the board.
Look, we've got a lot of RCB fans over here. And at 97 from 9 overs. So you finished that at 10. After 11, I said game done.
Yeah.
So he's 70-30. I was even more so.
Really? So, but do you think I don't know, what was it, the rotation of the bowlers that should have been a little different, or they should have maybe gone to Hazelwood in the power play, which has worked for them?
Or sometimes you just say a player showed his class.
Yeah.
Rose above the situation, rose above everything.
I don't think he did too much wrong, to be honest. I'm not going to be too harsh on Paridar because they had the start they wanted.
Yes.
They took wickets in the power play and they had them 64 for 4 at the halfway stage. Now, if you'd have said that to Andy Flower, to anyone in that dressing room, they will still be over 100 short and 4 wickets down at the halfway stage. They would have chewed your arm off for that. They would have taken that in a heartbeat. So I think they had them in the right position. Just one brilliant innings, a great supporting act. And it wasn't a lot of sloppy fielding. There was a little bit of inconsistent bowling at times, but let's just, at times you just have to put it down to great batting.
Yeah, well, we've got a couple of issues. One, as we referred to with Fraser McGurk. Also, just watching Faf du Plessis today, I don't know if he's playing their next game, which is 2 or 3 days ago, 2 or 3 days from now. So maybe just that little issue. So what happens? KL Rahul plays his fabulous innings at 4, and he opens the next game again?
Yeah.
He seems to be very, very okay with constantly shuffling around and seems to be it's be a normal thing for him.
Could be.
But for RCB, they go play RR next in Jaipur. So they will want to forget what's happened here again. They're going away from home. So we know what happens when they go away from home.
Yes, so they should be optimistic. But again, they're going to a place that hasn't had a single game this is IPL so far.
We don't
it's
know
the
what
first
to
game in Jaipur. Now, in Jaipur, we've seen in the early years, we've seen when the track was a little sticky, then we've seen beautiful bounce. Dooley and me used to enjoy going to Jaipur. Beautiful bounce, good pitches, but we don't know how it's going to be this year. So for everyone, it's a bit of wait and see.
My favourite groundsman, Taposh. Lovely, lovely man.
Likes bounce.
At Rajasthan and in Jaipur. He produces good wickets more often than not. And
so we'll
I'm sure
wait
it'll
and
be a
see,
good-
and hopefully for RCB's sake, they'll have a wicket that they would like. We'll have a look at that points table because they will want to move things around RCB on the points table. Delhi, of course, 4 games, 4 wins, very positive net run rate. They are sitting very pretty there at number 2. Harsha, for Bengaluru, they would want to change things around because 5 games and they've had 2 losses now.
Yeah, but they're still sitting pretty because a lot of the others have lost games too. So I don't think they'll lose too much sleep over this. But yeah, if they lose the next one, then suddenly they're 3-3, you know? And then that's not a great place to be. So that's a big one in Jaipur.
Well, there's a very big one tomorrow. So let's have a look at what's happening tomorrow as CSK take on KKR. They will be playing in Chennai. The big news, we started the show with, of course, Captain Ruturaj Gaikwad has been injured. He has been ruled out and Mahendra Singh Dhoni will be captaining. So I think the decibel levels have already started climbing, just anticipating that he's going to be coming in. But MSD comes in and he has to quickly fix things because they've lost 4 games. So it's a big one for CSK.
And he's got to fix the batting order. He's got to fix the batting order very quickly because he started off, he had 1 good game and he didn't score too many runs. But Ruturaj was 580 runs, 590 runs the last 2 seasons. So he's lost potentially those many runs. So he's got to fix that 3 and 4. I quite liked him at 5, you know. Came out at 5.
Yes.
Look, Stephen Fleming has said he can't play long innings. If you've got to play 20 balls, you might as well play them at 5. So he's got to sort his position. He's got to sort that 3 or 4 number position. And he's just got to lift the side. He's got to lift the side. He's got to conjure up some magic from somewhere.
He was terrific the other night. I thought it was the innings that you want to see from MS the other night. It was by no means, you know, anything to do with him, the fact they didn't get the job done. He did his job the other night, I thought. It was just Conway's innings was laboured at the back end. I think they retired him too late. If they were thinking of retiring him, it was just too late to get Jadeja in and hope that Jadeja could do the job. I thought MS's innings was superb.
Yes.
That's what you want from him. So even if they're 3 down early, I don't mind him coming in at 5 if he's going to do the same job. Because 27 off 12 at number 5 makes more of a difference than 27 off 12 at the back when the game might be gone. So I don't mind him batting at 5. It's what they do with 3 and 4. You know, do they bring Tripathi back? If they bring Tripathi back, the only place I see Rahul Tripathi playing or batting is opening the innings. He can't start after the power play. We've seen that over the years. He just cannot bat outside of the power play.
But again, change around that opening combination.
Well, that's the problem.
Worked.
That's the problem. So to me, you've probably got to bring Deepak Huda in, unless you go with one of the youngsters. Get Huda back, bat him at 3, or go with one of the guys that hasn't played.
His young players, Andre Siddharth from Chennai.
Siddharth.
But he's played first-class cricket. He's played first-class cricket quite well, but doesn't have a great record either in the TNPL or thereafter. And Vansh Bedi has come straight out of the Delhi Premier League. He played 1 game for Delhi but didn't bat in it. So
be interesting to see what Chennai does tomorrow. But Harsha, with Dhoni coming in, do you think he'll be using Ashwin a little better? Because Ash has been way more expensive than what we usually see him.
They need Ashwin to come back well. Because they're bowling Ashwin in the power play, he's bowled well after the power play. But in the power play, he's not been the bowler that he was. So they've got to find that mix. Expect a big one from Khalil Ahmed, because he's the one bowler who's actually done well. Mukesh Chaudhary bowled well for them in that last game. So expect something from those two and maybe hold Ashwin back a little bit.
Well, we'll chat about KKR now. They had a very disappointing game, the last one. They would have wanted to win. They were in a winning position, and from there they lost the game. Rinku coming in at 8. How does that work in this?
Well, I mean, I've just seen a quote from Venkatesh Iyer. I think there must have been a press conference today, how he said all the analytics that we use dictate when players come into bat. And when I'm like, I'm sorry, but if you're looking at robots to build your batting order, you've got it wrong. And then he mentioned that we've got so much experience in DJ Bravo with over 600 games of T20 cricket. Well, that's more like it. You know, be talking to him, not your boffins, and getting it wrong. So look, they've got to get that batting order right. And I don't care whether you're batting first or batting second. If Rinku Singh's not batting at 6, then there is a problem.
That seems to be a major problem, getting that batting order right. Positives for them, of course, is that Venkatesh Iyer's gotten runs, Ajinkya Rahane got runs. So they have those positives, but they just want to convert these games to those wins.
It was their game, isn't it? It's so tough. It was their game, and it was their game in a sensational chase. They were, 90 at one point in 6 overs or something like that?
Yes.
So to almost max a chase of that size would have given them such a high. Now, all of a sudden, they're 2-3, right? 1-2 lost 3 on the table. Now, they lose another one and they're starting to feel their backs to the wall. So whichever team loses this game is feeling its back to the wall a little bit. So from that point of view, you might have 2 tense teams going out there. But also someone like Rahane, who's played his best cricket at Chennai. He's playing some good cricket here, but played some of his best T20 cricket at Chennai. And 2 similar personalities now leading the 2 sides.
We'll have a look at that squad. Do you see any changes considering the Chepauk, maybe that extra spinner or Spencer Johnson out for a spinner?
They did that.
I mean, would they consider bringing Moeen back?
They did that for one game. They left out Spencer Johnson, played Moeen Ali, and played with the 3 seamers, which is Vaibhav Arora, Harshit Rana and Andre Russell. So if they can get Andre Russell to do a little bit more with the ball, then they can get Moeen Ali as a floater in the side. He opened the batting against Rajasthan, I think.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, Harsha just mentioned the name. Khalil's been the best bowler for Chennai, left-arm seamer at Chennai. So has Spencer Johnson got a role to play in that situation at that ground? So, yeah, again, I don't know that they'll make wholesale changes in that lineup. It's
Nokia?
Well, if Nokia's fit...
Any day, no? If he's fit?
Is he 100% fit? That would be the question I would ask. You know, can they fit him in instead of Spencer Johnson? But if you're going to fit Nokia in, I'd rather bring him in when you've got a surface that is offering a little bit of pace and bounce and possibly not Chennai. So he might leave him a game away.
Look, they've got a lot of batting. Ramandeep Singh is slotted at number 9. It's way too much batting. So maybe they can strengthen their bowling a little bit.
Yeah.
Your players to watch out for tomorrow then?
Who do you want?
Let me invoke my inner joy and say Moeen Ali. No, they need the starts.
Yeah.
It's always about the starts on that surface. It's Quinton de Kock and who opens Quinton de Kock? Tell me, Rahane 3. Sunil Narayan. Yeah. He's not coming off, is he? No, I'll go Venkatesh Iyer still. He's got runs in 2 innings.
All right.
He hits spin well. So I'm going with Venkatesh Iyer as a key player for KKR.
And for CSK?
All eyes only on one person. I'm more interested in seeing where he bats. But I think from the point of view of winning, they need starts. They need either of Conway or Ravindra to get a big one, right?
Yeah, Rachin for me.
Okay, Conway.
Again, he just hasn't had the season he would like. They need starts. They need to stop losing wickets in the power play. So Rachin Ravindra has to get that right at the top of the order. Conway got runs in the last one, albeit a little bit slowly at the back end. And for Kolkata, I'm going to go Narayan because he needs to lift with the ball.
Yes. Yeah.
Chakravarti has outbowled him in the tournament so far. He should get conditions that might be a little more conducive to his style tomorrow. So look for him to maybe be better tomorrow.
All right, then we will wait and watch and see what happens in this big encounter tomorrow. We have to now have a look at that joy factor question, which we didn't give
I
thought
forgot
to.
about that.
Yes, of course.
Yes, let's have a look at the joy factor question of the day. With regards to the Indian T20 League, if only Suresh Raina and Virat Kohli have achieved a certain set of milestones, who achieved it first and what is this about?
Set of milestones. Meaning it's not just one.
I saw the answer.
Oh, you saw the answer.
So meaning it's not one set of milestones and they're batting milestones must be, I don't know.
All right, let's just have a look at the answer.
Batting milestones.
Yeah, let's have a look at the answer. Adam Gilchrist
First to 1,000.
2,000 runs.
So Suresh Raina was second and Kohli was third,
okay.
something like that?
All right.
Why didn't we have this question when Gilly was here? Gilly's coming here in a couple of weeks, isn't
Maybe
he?
that's the connection, warming up Gilly to coming in.
Gilly's
Getting
coming in
joy
a couple of
factor
months,
questions,
yeah? A couple of weeks.
Weeks.
Okay, let's have a look. I must say that the people who tagged me on Twitter have given a wrong answer for the first time. Like 3-4 of them. It's
So when
quite
you
a
were sitting
surprise.
there saying, I've seen the answer, you've seen the wrong one.
Who do you think it was? What answer did they
You know
give
what we should have done? We said, okay, sir, we give the answer.
Yeah, it was,
It
I
happened
think,
to me the other day too.
Yeah,
When Harbhajan was the answer, remember?
yesterday.
Yes.
Yes, yesterday. Well, let's have a look at who's gotten it correct because Twitter's fooled me today. Arvind, the champ, has gotten this
AKD
correct.
champ.
Well done, champ. You certainly have been a champ today because it was a tough one. Not too many people got it on Twitter, so well done. We haven't been champs at all, have we?
No, awful today. There's some
Manoj
success.
Tiwari's been the
There was
champ.
some success downstairs.
Yes.
So you
in
know
the
what
Hindi
happens?
studio.
Yesterday, I said, look, I'm not getting any points, so I'll stay close to the winners. But I was too much of a burden for the winners. I dragged them down too.
Yeah, my shoulders got a bit sore today.
Oh dear. We'll still have to have a look at that because we have a winner downstairs. Don't know if it was a book, but you're still up there.
It's same as Manoj.
Oh, but 2 bullseyes, so you stay up
so I
top.
stay on top. Same as Manoj. Okay.
Oh, the competition between us, Harsha.
Oh, I
Just
was
look at our
12 points, so
competition.
happy at 12.5, 11.11. Okay.
Well, I think I'm looking at only the right-hand section.
Okay. Bobby comes tomorrow. Let's wish him a nice big duck.
He wasn't short of those when he batted, I tell you.
Look at Harsha becoming the fast bowler and sledging already. It's rubbing off, truly. It's rubbing off on Harsha. The sledging started with that
brilliant.
smile on his face.
Brilliant.
Bommy, I hope you're watching. You know what you're in for tomorrow because we are always in the mood to get this prediction game going and nobody wants you to get going tomorrow, so be ready. But you get an off tomorrow.
Off tomorrow, then I'm on Lucknow and Delhi on the weekend doing some live stuff and then back on Monday, I think.
All right, so we will hopefully not see you
I'll
up
send
top.
you the pitch report through from
Oh.
on Saturday.
And don't tell him what you thought of it.
He'll trick us because he'll be seeing his number 1 position on that prediction
Exactly.
score. So he's not giving
Absolute
us.
belter, and it's not going to turn at all.
We're not listening to the pitch report at all, but I'm happy that you will be joining in tomorrow.
Yes.
And we will have Pommy. So there's going to be lots of laughter tomorrow.
Yes.
Do join us for all the laughter and, of course, all the cricket. Thank you so much for watching. Voltas presents Cricbuzz Live. Good night and goodbye.
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad Express, Bengaluru Station, Netaji Obot.